Hey family, welcome to Focus Fridays with Darlene A. Anderson, entrepreneur, personal and professional development consultant, author of Not Without a Fight, 10 Ways to Win When It Appears You've Already Lost, and your social media friend. Welcome. Now, if you are joining us for the very first time, I'm appreciative. Thank you for joining us. I ask that you like, share, and subscribe accordingly, and click that notification bell so you will be in the know of the latest happenings as they are happening. And if you are a returning viewer, well, you know we love and appreciate you for returning. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe, and click that notification bell so you as well will be in the know of the latest happenings as they are happening. Okay, let's jump right into it. Focus Fridays. When I think about Focus Fridays, I always think about I think it was on Friday when he was like, focus, man. I think that was Fridays with Chris Tucker, right? If I'm not right, you guys tell me in the comments. I really want to know what that's from. I should have looked at it before, but I'm almost sure, right? So let me know. Okay. And when you think about focus, it's just always pay attention, be mindful, clear your mind. Nothing should be in your mind except the task at hand. And I wanted to speak to that a little bit more, specific to both personal and professional development. Okay, before I speak to it, I gotta take you guys back a little bit. You know I always have a story, because caring is sharing, right? Caring is sharing, not for the sake of airing dirty laundry, but to help another elevate. So let's go back a little bit. I told you guys that I've been in entrepreneurship for around 15 years now, right? One of the last jobs that I had on within the 9-to-5 sector was working as a work readiness instructor for youth 14 to 22 years of age. I really loved it. It was the most rewarding experience I've ever had. A lot of work, you know, young people, it was a lot of work, but I really feel it was the most rewarding. Okay, a part of my job was to help them develop an array of soft and hard skills in no particular order and in no particular category. Skills consisted of writing resumes, cover letters, looking for a job online. It also entailed work attire. It entailed understanding federal, state, city policies and procedures, inclusive of filling out your tax papers, applications. It entailed a great deal, and it was around, again, maybe 15, 16 modules. And I remember starting the job and looking at everything and going to the executives and saying, look, I think it's missing a component. I believe that before we can touch these things, I really have to sit and speak to these kids and get an understanding of who they are. These young people have lives outside of this. I need to know who they are. What are their social economical statuses? And of course, you know, it was an impoverished community. That's a given, right? But even so, in impoverished communities, you have middle class, upper class, lower class. It doesn't mean just because you live in a community that is considered impoverished that, you know, people's families don't have jobs, they don't have lives, or even somebody on public assistance doesn't mean that their values are the same. So I needed to know who these individuals were. And in order to do that, we had to sit down. We did an array of journaling. We did personality assessments. I love the personality assessments. We're going to talk about that for a second. I gave them an opportunity to get up and speak about who they were, what motivated them, what music they liked, what music didn't they like, what religion were they like. All of these things go into who a person is. The personality assessments, what I want to speak to today, they loved it. We did an assessment. I have the link there in the bottom. And again, in no particular order, this personality assessment spoke about who you were from the perspective of various animals and their tendencies, right? So you had the lion, the golden retriever, the beaver, and I believe the otter. And we sat and we went through this, and they were so excited because they're looking at this paper and it's about them. And this assessment is even done in elementary school with 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders. It's a great assessment again. So we're going through it and they're like, oh, this is me, this is me. And then I'm sharing who I am. They're like, Miss Anderson, who are you? And I said, well, I always place as a lion. In most assessments, when there is a lion as an option, I always place as a lion, and a lot has to do with my upbringing. I'm the eldest of four. I worked at a very young age. I was responsible for a lot. I too grew up in a impoverished community, and in a impoverished community, generally, you grow up really quickly. You have responsibilities really quickly. You have to pay attention to a lot of different things. Again, at a very young age, I was responsible for my siblings. I had to work at an early age, so that gave me skills as it relates to being a leader, being a visionary, carrying out objectives, executing quickly, like all of these things. So some people in the class are like, me too, me too, me too. So when everybody finished and they're excited about where they place, I'm like, okay, now at the very bottom, I want you to look at where you place all of the positive things, but now let's look at the negatives about who you are as it relates to interacting with others. Things to be mindful of. Who you are is not negative, it's just a state. If you're this, then you may have problems with other people that aren't like you. And I'll use myself for an example. As a lion, lions tend to be not so sensitive, not so compassionate to things. So what that may look like is like, all right, this is the task, and my team can relate to this. I mean, like, this is the task at hand. Let's carry it out. Let's get it done. Today is Monday. This is what we have to do. Not understanding that someone else may not be able to do it because they're not as motivated as I am. Maybe they were a middle child. Maybe they didn't have the responsibilities that I had growing up. Maybe it's not embedded in them to just go, take the initiative. And we're all a part of a team now. Whether it's a group that I played no part in bringing together, or someone that I hired that I really didn't notice that we didn't have similar personality traits, and now we have to learn how to work together, right? So I have to understand this person doesn't get up and they're not motivated like that, or if they are motivated, they don't take the initiative like that. Maybe they require more time sitting down and going through things before they just execute. I'm a person that tends to just run with it and learn along the way. Others need to sit and learn before they go. And we spoke about that a lot in class, and they were like, oh, Ms. Henderson, you know, I understand. It's not about who you are, but it's about who the other person is as well, especially when you're working as a collective. The reason why I brought that story up to you on today is because we're not in the world by ourselves. It's not just Darlene, and it's my world. And no one else is here, and I'm able to live, make money, do everything that I want to do by the sweat of my own brow without another person. I'm not. I require to be in the company of people, just like I'm sure many of you are. And in order for me to do that, I not only have to focus on my stuff, but I have to focus and understand the person in front of me. That person might not even be my coworker. It may not even be somebody I'm networking with, contracting with. It might be my siblings. It may be my child. It may be someone in church. They're even doing personality assessments in church. Be mindful, because there's a lot that happens behind closed doors in churches. And people are learning that they have to communicate better with one another. And the only way to communicate better is to understand the person in front of you. So on today and every day, I invite you, when someone says focus, it's not just for you to be at attention, it's to really be laser focused on who is in front of you, especially when you're working to get the job done. If you made it this far, I thank you. I ask again that you like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and click that notification bell, and come on back and visit me for Motivational Monday. Take care. Enjoy your weekend.